William Tompkins claimed he was in the control room when Neil Armstrong met moon reptilians. So what really happened on the moon? Just 2 years before he passed, William Tompkins had written Selected by Extraterrestrials, which induced sudden chaos in the UFO community with his incredible testimony about U.S. Navy secret development of space battle groups with the assistance of major aerospace companies, beginning with Douglas Aircraft. He can be considered one of the most incredible whistleblowers to step forward and disclose the secret space programs, ET agendas, and hidden governments, and he claimed to be part of an operation involving U.S. Navy spies who stole UFO plans and anti-gravity technology secrets from the Nazis during World War II, he said. In July 2017, at a press conference, Tompkins made an unprecedented statement. He worked for the Douglas Aircraft Company alongside Nordic alien women extraterrestrials, he said. It had been 4 to 7 years before NASA appeared. He claimed about it in his book mentioned above, Selected by Extraterrestrials, and that was published in 2015. Additionally, he revealed that the Nazis had already had operational UFOs during the war, and because of the information that the US spies were able to obtain, the US later developed its fleet of UFOs, which then got siphoned off into the black military sphere under the control of Majestic 12, the ultra-secretive group that controlled and managed the UFO alien issue in the 1940s, he claims. And he claims during the time of the World War, there were secret societies such as the Thule Society and the Vril Society. Famous British historian Nicholas Goodrick Clark wrote a whole chapter about Maria Orsic in his book Black Sun, published in 2001, where he connected her with the Vril Society. The author mentioned that Orsic could communicate with alien civilizations, and one of them was from the planet Aldebaran, which is located in the Taurus system. According to Tompkins, the Nazis were in contact with extraterrestrial reptilians at the same time as Orsic was doing her channeling, and Hitler found out about Orsic, her abilities, and the fact that she was receiving information that detailed how to construct UFOs. And according to William Tompkins, Hitler allowed Orsic and the Nordics with whom she was working to continue to work on their UFO program because the Nazis were already in contact with the reptilians and because Hitler knew he could always take over Orsic's project at any time. Robert Wood, who was interviewed alongside William Tompkins by Search for Truth Reality, claimed that the Nazis' technology rapidly advanced due to their relationship with the reptilians so that they got to the far side of the moon before the end of World War II. Dr. Wood worked in research and development management in Douglas Aircraft at McDonnell Douglas from 1956 to 1993. Later, he became a board member on MUFON. He was given $500,000 to disseminate UFO documents and $250,000 to make a UFO documentary. Later, Robert and his son Ryan scanned hundreds of MJ-12 documents and made them available on their website, Majestic Documents. According to William Tompkins, he was recruited at a young age by the Navy due to his precocious ability to build highly accurate model ships. After working at North American Aviation in Northrop, he was hired by Douglas Aircraft Company in 1950. In interviews such as with Project Camelot and in his book Selected by Extraterrestrials, Tompkins reveals much of his story. He explained that MJ-12 began in 1942 with the senior Douglas, the man who started the company. Tompkins stated that right after the Battle of LA in 1942, to handle the implications of UFOs openly showing themselves in the skies, Douglas pulled some key men into a group or think tank that later became MJ-12. Dr. Wood stated that MJ-12 is mostly associated with Air Force, not other branches of the U.S. military. He explained that the U.S. Navy started back engineering Nazi UFO crafts in 1942 before MJ-12 came into existence. It took the Navy around a decade to produce functional UFO craft, but they did so eventually, he said. Tompkins stated that when the first astronauts went to the moon, they were shocked to discover it had already been occupied by Draco reptilians. He said that the reptilians, over 9 feet tall, were standing next to their advanced craft. Bill Tompkins said they were parked out around the side of the crater. Okay, they were not parked on it, they were floating above it, so there were hundreds of these 9-foot reptilian guys standing with their legs. Yeah, they were all the way across underneath their vehicle standing on the crater, he said. And the interviewer asked, what do they look like? Tompkins said they are ugly-looking lizard, alligator-type people. They got the same skin as the lizards got. Okay, the terrible-looking faces. But then they have the ability to shift and look like a human. All of them do. Interviewer asked, did you think Von Braun was a reptilian? Bill Tompkins, no, your president. Yes. Interviewer, oh, which one? Tompkins says George Bush Sr. and Bill Clinton and this guy you just got rid of. They all were, right? Okay, they all have this ability to make themselves look like real good-looking people. Interviewer, and you're saying Trump is not one? Bill Tompkins says, no, he's not. That's a relief, and he knows more about this subject than people realize. But trying to get back to your earlier question, these groups of extraterrestrials who work together but are at war with other extraterrestrials, they have these vehicles that look like a planet, like our moon is a vehicle. It's a command center for this arm. The easiest way to look at this is to put your arm out like this, and you be the center of the galaxy. According to both Tompkins and Dr. Wood, the reptilians had already made a deal with the Nazis, and amazingly Tompkins himself claimed he saw ancient structures on the far side of the moon, and that he saw a floating building 1.5 miles above the lunar surface. According to Tompkins, many ET species are interacting with humanity currently, including Draco reptilians and Nordics, which have a great influence on the world, he said. And in his Project Camelot interview, Tompkins prevented himself from disclosing more information about reptilians as it was harmful to his credibility. Tompkins also described the U.S. military's concerns about UFOs and alien beings and the military's rush to create advanced space-based weapons which could be used to defend the planet Earth against an ET threat to our civilization. He revealed U.S. Navy has battle groups operating outside the Earth. He designed 5 spaceships, he says, and 30 support ships, according to his claims. Using the latest technology, he designed different spaceships for Northrop Aviation Company. Northrop started building the huge craft underground in Utah, he said. Tompkins claimed, we are now building even better battle groups. The Apollo moon landings were also designed to build a base on the moon. We have had bases on the moon along with bases on Mars and Jupiter's moons, he says. A month after the shocking conference, Tompkins passed away unexpectedly, August 21st, 2017, in San Diego, California, at the age of 97. This is by Vicky Vermeshausen-Wise on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.